In the area of the small Ukrainian village of Lepetha, a Russian sabotage group on the left bank of the Dnipro was on its way to destroy Ukrainian positions in the region with a surprise raid. Based on the intelligence it received, the armed forces of Ukraine, who had immediately set up an ambush, began to make a plan to block the path of the Russian invaders. They had to prevent this insidious ambush from reaching a more dangerous stage. The Russian convoy was advancing without breaking formation, pushing with all its might toward the Ukrainian positions. The Russian forces were attacking with their most powerful armored vehicles and infantry teams, aiming to seize the area and continue their advance. As the convoy moved forward without encountering anyone, it gave them more confidence, and they were just starting to think they were invincible when the defense forces immediately took action. The artillery determined the targets based on the coordinates from the FPVs, and the first shot was fired, a direct hit. While the artillery fired shot after shot, the FPV operators prepared the kamikaze drones and drone bombs and attacked with all their might. It was very important to stop this attack. Surprised by the attacks, the Russian convoy began to scatter right and left, breaking the chain of command. One tank, then two tanks, and so the end of the convoy was near. Those who tried to escape individually were hunted down one by one. Friends, if you, like us, want Ukraine to win, write Slava Ukraine in the comments. The FPV operators were destroying all the Russian armored vehicles with pinpoint precision, tracking their every move. Seeing the tank in front get destroyed, the soldiers in the other tanks began to panic and abandon their vehicles. As panic spread, the Russian soldiers abandoned their armored vehicles and scattered. At that moment, a Ukrainian FPV operator, using a reconnaissance drone, captured images of at least 3 Russian soldiers who had fled their vehicles. The Russian soldiers whose vehicles were destroyed tried to escape on foot. A Russian tank approaching Ukrainian positions was hit with a direct hit by a kamikaze drone. A nearby tank wanted to help but regretted approaching. It took heavy damage and began to burn. The tank operator thought he could camouflage himself by lying on the road, but he didn't escape the operator's eyes. They immediately sent a gift for him. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe, and turn on notifications as we continue to provide the latest news. A tank was advancing rapidly and almost escaped the first shot, but the operators didn't give up and delivered the fatal blow later. The second tank acted more boldly and turned south, thinking it would escape with a quick maneuver. But these old war tactics, effective for artillery or missiles, will be of no use against new generation war weapons. With a successful shot, the operator made a direct hit. One of the tanks was advancing dangerously, firing at the positions and couldn't be stopped. At one point, when the tank stopped, the tank commander went inside and forgot to close the hatch. Seizing this opportunity, the Ukrainian Army's FPV operator immediately dropped a bomb through the hole and did not forgive this big mistake. With a huge explosion, the tank and its crew became unusable. The convoy is scattering. Some are trying to escape on the main road, but there is no escape. First, a personnel carrier is hit with a direct hit after a masterful pursuit. Then it's the tank's turn. One is hit through the tank commander's hatch, and the other is hit on its most vulnerable spot on its armor. Next, a pickup truck is hit. The soldiers on it panic and run away, and with a direct hit, the vehicle is now unusable. They will have to continue their journey on foot. After losing their armored vehicles and tanks, the occupying forces began to attack with infantry. The drones had a difficult job in the wooded area. Soldiers of the 73rd Naval Special Operations Center intervened and gave Ukrainians one more day to live in relative peace and not see the Russian invaders in person. reconnaissance of the area and preparation of friendly forces positions, helping our infantry, mining the enemy's crossing routes, and collecting and transmitting important information about the enemy and the situation in certain areas of the front. These things that seem extraordinary to ordinary people are just a routine job for our boys that only real men can do. To strengthen the offensive in the Dobropilia region, the enemy sent new units from Krishina. In particular, the 155th ET Brigade of the Pacific Fleet Marines, a unit of the Russian Army, was seen in this direction. On the evening of August 28th, the enemy advanced with a convoy of 7 armored vehicles and up to 100 personnel to attack in the direction of the settlement of Pokrovsk-Malinivka. The crew of the Franko Group, a unit of the Ukrainian army named for a special mission, in cooperation with the operators of the HIMARS, High Mobility Artillery Rocket System, turned the entire convoy to dust. The enemy was destroyed before reaching the Ukrainian frontline positions. All armored vehicles were destroyed or rendered unusable, and nearly 100 infantry suffered losses. Finally, the attack by the motorized units was successfully repelled. The cooperation of these two groups means that the Franko Group conducts reconnaissance and target detection from the field and transmits the information to the HIMARS team, and the HIMARS then launches a precise rocket attack on the target with these coordinates. In short, it states that 2 different units are carrying out a joint operation to destroy enemy targets. Good news continues to come from the region. According to the General Staff, Ukrainian Defense Forces have cleared the village of Udachnoye in the Pokrovsk region of Donetsk. Pokrovsk has been a very critical area in recent days and one of the most intensely attacked areas by the Russians. The remains of the convoy continue to be collected. The BBC operators of the 63rd OMBR as part of the 3rd Army Corps, are literally destroying the enemy's roof. No matter where they go or which hole they enter, they have sworn to find and destroy the invaders. The Ukrainian Air Force, with its MiG-29 aircraft, bombed a silo in the Kherson region occupied by enemy unmanned aerial vehicles with a JDAM. After receiving intelligence, the jets immediately took action and demonstrated their superior abilities once again by hitting the targets at the given coordinates with pinpoint accuracy.